Hello, everybody. And I guess it would help if I actually had my mic here. But welcome to episode 72 of Matt and John Make a Podcast. Um,
Yes.
before we begin, we want to wish everyone a very very Merry Christmas. In this week's episode,
Well, hopefully
yeah,
you
well,
had a good Christmas.
yes,
See,
yes.
we got to do the whole past and
Yeah.
future thing here. It
But
sucks.
um, but for this week we're
Oh,
gonna be
and
getting
a happy New Year too.
yeah, and happy New Year, even though we aren't quite there yet, but almost. But we're going to be getting into some NFL talk, and we're gonna be airing out our grievances in what we're dubbing
It's a
Festivus.
Festivus. It's a
so
Festivus. Because
so
today is Festivus.
because as we are recording this on December 23rd at 6:41 p.m. we figured, hey, let's talk about some things that we need to just kind of air out, so to say. But we're gonna get right into some NFL talk here, and this is gonna be a lot of me just going off and just airing my overall frustrations with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, who, needless to say, Matt, it's been an absolute shit show the last 3 weeks, and I had a bad feeling going into this game on Monday night. But dear God, that first half might have been the worst first half of offensive football I have ever seen, and that is saying something because I didn't think that we would see anything worse than from last season when we had both a freaking reindeer and a duck at
Reindeer
quarterback.
and a duck.
A reindeer and
Yeah.
a duck at quarterback. But man, I just cannot believe what we were seeing that whole entire game. And at the end of that, Matt, I just felt just so depressed, and just you just have to come to sort of a like realization that Ben, I hate to throw out this words, but I think he's washed, man. Like I mean, I still think he can put on some good games. I'm not saying that like he can't, but man, it's just you can just tell Father Time within the last few games has just caught him and
I
smacked him right in the goddamn face.
I think um I think he's more hurt
Yeah, I
than
agree.
he's letting on.
Oh, absolutely.
Um I
He has to
think
have at least a partially torn MCL or something going on there, because
something
something is definitely going
because
on.
I don't think because when was the game when was the game he got like his both his knees smashed?
That was in like Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in Dallas.
And okay, and in that Dallas well, let me look this up because up until that point, if I'm not mistaken, what week was Dallas?
Let's see, it was like around week 11 ish, something like that. Week 10, week
Week 10,
11,
week 9.
week 9. Okay.
Okay. So they won. He threw for 306 yards, 3 touchdowns. Um week 8 they beat they edged Baltimore. I'm just trying to go back and see. They played Tennessee. He had 2 touchdowns. Okay, 3 interceptions. Is one of those. One of the interceptions was
Yeah. Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But okay, so he wasn't. The offense wasn't that bad up to that point. So after that, week 10, we played the. Okay, maybe a little exception. We destroyed the Bengals 36-10. So he was okay. He was okay. He had 4 touchdowns. Week 11 comes up.
It's a
Okay, he
Baltimore
killed the
game,
Jag.
right? Yeah.
It's probably Baltimore game. We killed the Jag.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. After Jacksonville, then because then it was Baltimore, Washington.
It was since the
Since a Baltimore
I
game. since that Baltimore game, man. Like,
The turn of December.
yeah, it's just I don't think his body can take a 16 game um regular season pounding, and it doesn't help too that we have zero running game that we're asking him to pass over 30 times every single game. It's just if like if this was 2014, 2015, 2016, then without a doubt he could handle it. But at this stage in his career now, it's just a few of these hits are going to take their toll, and that is exactly what we are seeing right now. And really, I think that this organization really needs to really come to that realization that I think Ben really needs to consider retirement after this season. Now I know that we heard about like Schefter's report on like Monday where he stated that like Ben was planning on coming back, but I'm still very much in question if he is going to come back, just because I wonder if Pittsburgh might try to pull a Troy Polamalu here and basically ask him to basically retire, because I just this game was so bad, and two, it wasn't just this game. This is a or you can argue fourth consecutive game where he just looked awful. He is just not seeing the what the field is giving him. He's missing really badly on throws. It's just a combination of that and just how horrible that this offense is, whether it's with our awful offensive line, and somehow we have two guys going into the freaking Pro Bowl, which should just kind of show you just how much of a popularity contest that freaking thing is. Because if you guys have not been watching that Steelers offensive line, it has been horrible for the most part this season.
That's a lot of the, I think, root of the, could be root of the problem exacerbated.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if they can't run block, you can't have a running game.
And
You
no
don't have
play
a running
action.
game. There's no play action, and then you focus on him,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's all on him. And if the offensive line can't block people consistently
I
enough,
mean,
then
I
he
mean,
can't step back and wait to throw down the downfield
and how many
option.
times was Big Al again just just destroyed on Monday
A
night?
lot
Like
of
Carl Lawson just made freaking like fish meat out of him all night long. And but like this offense line is old. Like the only guy who isn't, I believe, over 30, or I'm not sure about like Fowler, but Dave, he's at least 30. Pouncey, I believe, is 32 ish, and and I want to say Allen is like 31 or 32 as well, which is why I've been pounding this freaking table all season long. This offensive line needs to be addressed. Like it's a very old, and a lot of these guys have just really tailed off. David DeCastro, especially just like father time, man. It's just I would not be surprised, man, if we have maybe four new guys on that line. At least three, because I don't see us bringing back a Filer. Pouncey, he might just end up being cut. And Dave, I think he could possibly retire. And if Ben does end up retiring after this season, I think it's a pretty likely that both Pouncey and Dave hang them up as well. So it's this offseason is going to be very interesting. But
yeah.
before we get into that, Matt, I just have one simple question: does this team win another game this year? I can't believe that I'm asking that at this point right now.
um,
right?
I don't know. It wouldn't be out of the realm to say they
Like
don't.
this team could not beat a third string quarterback who passed for what 75 yards on Monday night, 80 yards on Monday night football. Like I don't think they can be a single playoff team right now. And
I
and
wouldn't. Yeah, I don't have confidence.
and the thing is, our defense is playing okay, but the problem is they're on the field so often,
Don't, and they're hurt.
and they're hurt. Like they have so many injuries with their freaking linebackers, and it's
Yeah,
just you can only overcome so much. And TJ is still unblockable. It's like he made life hell for that Cincinnati offensive line. They could not block him, but when everyone else is freaking hurt, like it's not gonna really matter.
it's not. Yeah, there's only so much he can do.
Right? Exactly.
Like you can't. He can't do everything because
No.
then which that's unfortunate. Like it's just all bad things happening
At the
at
same time,
once.
yeah.
The defense getting hurt, um, particularly linebackers, um, uh, no, and then the offense just
Just
forgetting the
completely.
offense.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just, and definitely if Ben is gone, I'm hoping we just need a whole new offensive philosophy. I am hoping that the front office, Tomlin, are just coming to that realization. We need to change things. Like if we just bring back Ben, bring back the same offense, it's going to be a lot worse next season. I'm telling you right now. Like it's even if they have a top five defense next year, it's just Ben is another year older. They still, if they don't address his offensive line and find some form of a running game, it ain't gonna matter. And I'm really hoping that they have come to this realization that we need to start to
I
begin to rebuild.
yeah, I think something's gonna happen of
Has
significance one way or the other, regardless of
to.
uh,
Right.
what happens.
I think
Um,
so too.
I wouldn't be. I know he's been the scapegoat, but um, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Finkner get released, um, or relieved of his duties.
I mean, his some contracts up, so basically they'll just say we
Yeah,
have just decided not to renew his contract, which is what they should do. But
yeah, that's the political way of
yeah,
saying we don't
thank
want you.
you, yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you,
for your
but
services. We're gonna let you. We're gonna let you go, even though we're already contractually letting you go.
right.
But uh, I think that goes. The big thing to watch and what everybody is going to be going crazy about is obviously the draft. Um,
Especially quarterbacks because depending on where this team picks them at, like I think it's going to be very interesting because I think if they can get a Trey Lance or a Zach Wilson, who are probably are the more like likely people if they were to get a quarterback, just because obviously they aren't going to be picking in the top 10 and there. So I mean, if they don't get quarterback, offensive line, like I don't want to see running back, wide receiver, outside
no,
linebacker. No,
they don't need. They can do if they do right receiver. It could be in the later rounds.
tight end, offensive line. If it's not going to be
Tight.
quarterback,
I would do.
yeah,
Yeah, I would do. I would try to find maybe Ben's replacement because
absolutely have to.
um, just have it for insurance policy down the line. Obviously, again, offensive line, a tight end.
The
Yeah,
reindeer, the like freaking reindeer ain't the answer.
No, I don't. Dobbs, I don't think is the answer.
No.
But we haven't seen him play in a long time. Um,
And
yeah, I don't.
I mean, like just like talking with with like fans too, man. It's just like everyone is just kind of in that mindset now where like they need to change. They need to start to prepare for life after Ben. And
Yeah,
I think this off season needs to be the beginning of that, because I mean, like this season, especially the last, especially the last month, should be a huge indication that I think he is done. He should be done. Now, I don't think he's going to retire. I hope he does, but I think the competitor in him just won't let him. Although I think that his head coach, the organization, his family need to really urge him because I think if he comes back next year, I feel like he's going to have a very like a Brett Favre like year. If you recall his final year with the Vikings, where he was just completely done, just hurt up and down
and
on his body, just
if I think if you were actually thinking about it, I don't think you would. I don't think you would say it now, anyways.
no,
I think you would
no,
say you're coming
yeah.
back.
I mean, like, what do you expect him
Because
to say? You know,
yeah, I'm done. Because if you do that, then that that
right?
kills the whole vibe.
Exactly.
And you don't
It's a
want
leader.
to.
I mean,
Yeah, you don't.
he's
Yeah, nobody. And then wait till, let's just say he does uh, retire after this. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, he lied. He said he wasn't." Blah, blah, blah.
what do you expect them to say? Like, oh, yeah, guys, I'm done. Like, they're in the playoffs. Like, why
Yeah,
in the hell would you say that for?
they're they're
But
struggling right now, and that is not going to fix the struggle
no,
if there
and
is a solution.
but he has to know though that like if I can't play to where helping I'm helping win games, which at this point he really isn't, then he needs to walk away. And I think it's going to hurt him just because he's kind of going out not on his own terms, but but uh, but man, Father Time is just it's
Father,
undefeated.
yeah, Father Time cares not for your feelings.
No, it's just and it's sad, but that's I think is where things are. And I'm just it's going to be really weird when this time comes in. It's something I have been dreading for a long time because honestly, Matt, for the majority of our lives, we have only known winning football here. Like
For the most part, yes.
yeah, because I became a
Did I
fan.
remember?
Yeah, I became a fan in like '98, which was when Cordell was basically right there.
I
And yeah,
yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the first, like, it's so similar with most sports. Like, '90s, I don't think I really watched most, like, consistently, like we do now. Football, I remember. I remember 2003 in the terms of remembering them not making the playoffs.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
because
did
man,
Whether
I've been
I watched that, I don't know. So that was Tommy Maddox. Do remember. I I probably have saw Cordell Stewart at some point. Like,
mhm,
watched it. I don't remember.
yeah, I
Um,
do, and it's just it was
Consistently.
just like you know what's why franchise quarterbacks, man, like when you have one, treasure it, save it, because a lot of fans forget before Ben came, the last franchise quarterback that this organization had was over 25 years prior in Terry Bradshaw. Like it's just these quarterbacks don't grow on trees, and
No.
I think we're in for a rude awakening if if we don't find that guy.
or
So
somebody,
you're
yeah,
right.
consistent. Because we had Tommy Maddox, who knows what would happen. But the only reason why Ben came in '04 was the injury to Maddox, and he went pretty much undefeated. He went undefeated in the regular
Yep.
season. He took him to the AFC Championship game where they lost to,
The
shocker, the Patriots.
fucking Patriots, God, that
And
that game. Oh God, I hate that game so
um, so he he helped lead the Steelers to beating the Patriots in the regular season, who were undefeated. They had like an undefeated
bad.
streak going. I think
And like in
whatever
Philadelphia too.
in the
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yeah,
Yep.
that was either like back to back or very
Yep.
close weeks like that. And they were winning, they lost, and then next year, they were 7-5 and won the last four to go 11-5, go on the road and win, and we've been consistent ever since for the most part, at least making playoffs. Been to three Super Bowls under Roethlisberger, won two, uh, uh, yeah, and then I don't know, like look in New England, like Brady left, and I mean
It's hard to replace. It's hard to
yeah,
replace franchise quarterbacks. Like, say we do get one of those quarterbacks, like whether it be a Trey Lance or a Zach Wilson in the first round, like there's gonna be a ton of pressure on those guys because man, you are replacing arguably the best quarterback in this franchise's history, who's brought this team two Super Bowls, has been a consistent contender for the last 16 years, 17 years. It's just there's gonna be a lot of pressure, but like one other thing I wanted to touch on as well before we move off of this here, man, was Juju Smith Schuster. My God, this freaking like apparently him dancing on freaking logos is basically assassinating someone or slapping someone in the face. Matt, maybe maybe I'm just not triggered enough, but what is the freaking big deal about this? I would love
um,
to know. I would just enlighten
it's
me, please.
because again, if the Steelers were still undefeated, this is not a big deal. It's not, because because it just seemed like once we lost, it was brought to your attention. It was dancing on logos. I don't remember if he was doing this before because
Oh yeah,
nobody cared.
he was doing it all season. That was the thing. It's like
But
okay, so why weren't you guys outraged beforehand? It just
it's
it,
all about, oh, they're losing. Look at him, because it's always, look at this person having fun and goofing off. He should, instead of dancing, doing it for the TikTok, he should
mhm,
be focused on winning games. And when you don't win games, be like, "Oh, see, I told you, I
right.
told you." He's not
Mark
doing good
Madden
because he's TikTok. He's TikTok. Well, it's everybody. That's all I
especially
see. Like on social media, was like,
every day, man.
because today it's like, well, Juju said he's not gonna do
I
TikToks
have
for the
blocked
benefit.
I have blocked so many people on Twitter just because of their incessant pitching about this subject, and of course everything else going on with this team. It's just it's like there are more pressing matters with this team, whether he's going to do a freaking TikTok on the opponent's freaking logo here. Like, who cares? Like, is this such a big deal to people to where like they have to like get so freaking triggered and lose their goddamn minds over something that really doesn't matter? It just like just how sensitive people are, man. And this is
You know,
NFL players too. Like they're getting sensitive over him dancing on a freaking logo. Just freaking oh God. I'm
it
just
it
going to
it
like move on now. Okay,
it's
anything else?
it's again, it's all um it's the "I told you so" mentality
Culture, yeah,
of,
man.
yeah, it's like an excuse because, oh, Steelers weren't playing good, right? They are losing now. Haha, look at this idiot. He's dancing.
Mm.
Look at them; they don't care. Like it's all somebody you plant a seed and it just grows and grows and grows. And now the big again, like I said, social media. Like I was on Facebook and all you see was Juju says he's not TikToking. First off, TikTok should die. Damn it, Trump! Why didn't you ban it? Why didn't you go get it done? And so it's the thing. I mean, I don't. First off, let me just say I don't get why he the TikTok thing like annoys me, but I'm not like about it. Like it is what it is.
Exactly.
Um,
There are
I
more
wish
pressing. There are more pressing things going on
my
than.
dog agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just when you're when you're losing, everything gets magnified 100 times. Every little thing you do is well, he's not focused. Blah 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 whatever yada yada yada, and but nobody's like talking about only a few, at least if you really watch, are talking about specific play on specific uh, people or groups of people, i.e., offensive line, Ben, and all that stuff, which is the overall
as
play is the problem.
as we mentioned. Yeah.
It's not Juju dancing like an idiot on in the middle of the field. It's not if he I'm sure if this was on the other foot and then somebody on the other team was doing this, I'm sure, and it was on the Steelers logo, I sure there would be a population of Steelers fans mad at said person for dancing,
Oh
and it
yeah,
would
I'm
still
sure.
be a thing. It's
But
all
I
about
also
what side of the
guarantee you
fence.
too, though, that if say that I guarantee you whether it be a Palantir or someone would have come up to that said person and punched them in the face too. So but
There would have been thinking, but yeah, nobody's done it. But where have I? Oh crap! What was I gonna say? Oh, I lost the train of thought.
yeah.
Oh Jesus! Whatever. Just move on.
But okay, so other NFL talk. Obviously, Kansas City, they are still in the driver's seat with the number one seed, who I believe they will probably clinch home field next week with a win there. So they'll
Yep.
probably lock that up next week.
It's yeah. It's
And
all
to me, yeah, like to me,
done. It's a done deal.
yeah,
It's just
like to me, they are pretty much locked in there.
yes.
I'm pretty sure with like Buffalo, they're going to be in the two seed there. So now with us, now it would be okay. How far are we going to fall? Because I think it's looking pretty luckily right now, Matt. There's a good chance that the Cleveland Browns might win the AFC North.
That's it's like a it's a mind blowing 2020 thing how this season's gone down.
Yep, it's and honestly, I'm kind of expecting it. I hate to say that, but it's
Well,
just
it
based
is what it is.
based on what we have seen, man. And until this offense starts to show something, I have no reason to believe why Cleveland will not beat us. It's
Basically,
just
have to win somehow one of the next two games.
if they win one of the next two, we have the AFC North.
Yeah.
But if we lose out, more than likely we'll
Well,
be
yeah. I don't think most likely
yeah.
if I doubt Cleveland's going to lose to who they playing the
Which
Jets
by the
or
yeah, which
Giants 1 and 2.
yeah, which by the way, if that does happen, we're probably going to be facing Indianapolis more than likely in the first round.
As it stands now, yeah.
Yeah, we would probably either face them or Cleveland. Yeah,
Yeah.
not entirely thrilled about that, but it's just
I'm not thrilled about
yeah,
anything.
yeah, just but it it's destined that this team is going to have a first round exit.
Yeah.
But we saw Tennessee won, um um Baltimore won, um and like Miami won as well. So that they are all doing good right now. And Baltimore, I they still need some help. Because obviously whether it'd be like Miami needs to drop a game, or Tennessee needs to drop a game. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out. But as it's concerned right now, Baltimore really isn't in any control yet of their own destiny just yet. So we'll see how that goes. On the NFC side, Matt, I don't think there was really anything new here outside uh, of the Saints dropping their game against Kansas City, which wasn't too big of a surprise. But Green Bay, I think they will clinch next week, probably. Uh, um,
Uh, I don't
for
know.
the for home field in the NFC. So more than likely, the road is going through like Lambeau there. Trying to think, Seattle. Oh yeah, something we forgot to mention, man. The New York Jets won a game. And now the Jacksonville Jaguars are now in line. Tony Khan hit the jackpot. Are now in line to receive the number one overall pick in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. So man,
I
it,
think, yeah, I think if both uh win a game somehow, I think it still doesn't matter. I think the strength of
schedule. Yeah.
schedule, uh, yeah, and Rich Eisen had a great rant on his show, because
Poor guy.
he's a Jets fan,
Poor guy.
and so he goes, he puts it out as, how did he put it? He put it in golf terms, like you both suck, but like Jacksonville, uh, with their schedule, uh, being easier is like you suck worse than the Jets who had a tougher schedule. It's expected the Jets should do more worse than the Jacksonville, who should be playing better, but they're not because their schedule was easier.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
Yeah. It just man, like it just that franchise is completely snake bitten, man. Just unfortunate, but yeah,
I don't
the
know why strength
Rams,
of schedule should
the
it should
Rams,
be the
yeah,
conference.
yeah, and besides the fact that they won, the LA Rams dropped a really bad game that they really needed to win there, because now pretty much the NFC West is in Seattle's hands now. I think that they're probably in a pretty good spot right now. The NFC East, who knows? We'll see. What like next week brings us there. But again, nothing else really to talk about there. We'll probably
And
pick up.
they need to pretty much, like, they can, if they lose out, it's 9-7.
Mhm.
Um, there's a possibility. There's a possibility. I mean, depending on what the like Bears do at 7-7. But let's just say if somehow the Bears are 9-7 or whatever, I don't know. It's a possibility they can uh, uh, may not make the playoffs. It probably will, but like it just need to win. Like they can be the 7th seed and face New Orleans, and depending on how everything goes, like it's still out on the table mathematically. I don't know the schedules for everybody, but then again, why look at the schedule? Because if the Jets can beat the Rams, who knows?
Any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, is the old saying
Who
goes.
knows? Who knows what can happen? Um, yeah, this is very interesting. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 9. The NFC has like 9 teams still alive, mainly because of that terrible NFC East.
Yeah.
So you have all four of those teams still possible. Even Philadelphia, who's currently 14th seed, has a shot to jump up to the 4th seed. Depending on how their season goes, because they're only basically half a game, one game. I forget how that
Yeah.
tie would work.
And with,
Out of
and with how
first,
well and with how well that Jalen Hurts is currently playing, who knows what can happen, but we will see how all that goes. Now,
so that's interesting.
yeah.
Some interesting stuff.
So Matt, I heard you found some little news about some Star Wars
I don't know if it's more
that you wanted to talk about here.
news, but rumors and stuff.
Innuendo.
But innuendo. So this is from IGN, and there's what, everybody coming back now. You have Luke and or not either coming back or getting introduced into Star Wars. There's an article here, like, is Disney teasing the return of Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu?
Yeah.
And what was posted was on Star Wars' Instagram with a picture of Mace Windu wishing Samuel L. Jackson a happy birthday, saying, "The party isn't over, it's just beginning. Sending a very happy birthday, Samuel L. Jackson." And "the party isn't over" is playing off of a line he says in Attack of the Clones, where he confronts Count Dooku and Jango Fett and declares, "This party is over." So that could be nothing. It could just be, he's you might be getting older, but we're just starting here, and or it's both, and there's a hidden meaning behind it. But everybody's going, conspiracy,
Yeah,
because you got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and then you have Hayden Christensen coming back for playing Darth Vader in that series too. So I mean, could they? I mean, they worked Luke in, so who knows? So all these rumors and innuendo is out there. So like, obviously, I take it with a grain of salt, because who really knows at this point what their plan is. But yeah,
only Disney knows.
Heck, they kept Mark Hamill's and Luke Skywalker's thing in the
tipped.
I don't know how they did that.
I don't know how they did it.
It was probably only a select few of people.
Had to have been.
And obviously probably the people in the scene, the cameraman,
Dave
Favreau,
Filoni.
and Filoni.
Yeah.
There's probably he probably had to sign.
Non-disclosure
NDAs,
agreements.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the initial
non-disclosures. So
like, hey, this has happened. You say something, you're fired.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're all dead.
You're all dead.
So
good,
okay,
good. That was pretty much the only thing I really found. There was a thing about where the new movie, that Rogue Squadron movie, will take place, but then there was a correction in the article that pretty much makes the article invalid. And there's this article. There was an article somebody wrote. I didn't read it yet, but the title just makes me mad. Is The Mandalorian, the Star Wars series, is too in love with its big moments. So they do something good, and people like, well, it's too good.
All right. Well, speaking of things that can't be too good, Festivus, Matt. What grievances do you have? And there should be a lot of them because man, 2020 gave us some really good candidates, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's true. But mine to start off with, uh, at least the one I remember, because I was trying to come up with more, is I don't know how to spell it. Is funny. Well, since Festivus is not a real holiday,
Oh, it is now.
it's a real holiday, but it's not real.
Damn right.
Um, is it's going to be stupid, but this is the hill I'm going to die on here in the beginning. So you know how people like they tweet like funny stuff or like say something and they use like obviously put emojis next to them. Okay, I hate it when people use like the legit crying the sad emoji for something funny. No, no, you asses. That's for something sad. There's two other crying. There's a laughing emoji and a laughing emoji with tears because you laughed so hard you have tears. Don't put the damn sad emoji. That's not what it's used for. You idiots. Get it right. That was so good to get out. Stop using the wrong emoji. God damn it. If you're gonna cry, cry right.
You kind of sounded like I'm Jim Carrey off of SNL impersonating Joe Biden right there.
Oh yeah, well, that wasn't
Get
anything
it,
I
get
would
it right.
get it right. Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Here's the
Um,
deal. I can't do
yeah.
Joe
Well,
Biden, but I'm
one,
gonna try to.
and I think that the biggest one, man, was COVID. Fuck off, COVID. You
COVID.
freaking sack of shit. Just
I'm building up to it.
well, I'm gonna start off big there. So, it's just this year was weird. Just from day to day living, I have been very it's been very familiar, like just being in these walls here a lot this year. Just like
Yes.
working, just working from home, masks, wearing those pretty much when you're out in public, not being able to go to any wrestling events, man. Which this has to be the first time in what 10 years that we haven't gone to at least one event. So it's like, so that's been
Uh
weird. Not going
no, it's
to.
it's been more than 10 because I probably went to one ever since 04.
Okay.
July of 04. I
Yeah,
remember Monday
yeah,
Night
yeah.
Raw.
So it's just between that, not going to any hockey games, not going to any baseball games,
Not
not,
work. Yeah, not working the Pirates.
yeah,
Not
just
light up night.
hell, hell, like doing
Anything.
everything, doing all sorts of like of interaction like this here, just talking over Zoom or Skype or however that you um communicate with people. But um but yeah, like that was one of the biggest ones, obviously for me. Do you have another one there, Matt?
Um, I I don't. I mean, it was. I think we pretty much nailed it, but there. I mean, some things you had to do, but the inconsistencies with orders. Um, and I have one right. I have one right here, and let me see. Do I want to read? So pretty much, our Secretary of Health in the state has issued an order requiring travelers over the age of 11 who enter Pennsylvania from locations outside of the Commonwealth, including Pennsylvanians who are returning home from locations outside the state, to produce evidence of a negative COVID test. A 7-day quarantine is required for those with a negative test on or after day 5 of quarantine. And if someone can't get a test or chooses not to, and is quarantined for 10 days upon arrival in Pennsylvania. Now, there's exceptions to this. Listen to these exceptions and just like it's laughable of these exceptions, right? So if you're coming from out of state, right, you need a negative test, but this does not apply to the following: individuals traveling to and from the Commonwealth for the purposes of work. I can work in Ohio, or close. That's fine. The virus is going to come up to you and go, "Oh, he's working. We can't do anything. Let's turn around and find somebody else who's not working." He's from a different state, but he's coming across. Can't touch him. Okay, and I'm reading this. I got this in the school email, but there is a legit letter here that I have too. Individuals who are returning to the Commonwealth after traveling outside the Commonwealth for less than 24 hours. 23 hours, you're fine. 25 hours in the state. 25 hours in the state. No. Individuals traveling to and from the Commonwealth for medical reasons, including individuals providing comfort and support to a patient. So you can deal with, comfort there. Maybe somebody's sick. That's fine. You can be there. Is that less than 24 hours? How are we doing that? But that's fine. You're taking care of a patient. Oh, we're not. Us viruses are not going to attack you. It's fine. Military personnel traveling to the Commonwealth by order of directive of a state or federal military authority. Military is okay. Mm-hmm. Individuals in transit through the Commonwealth to other destination, provided that the time spent in the Commonwealth is only the amount of time necessary to complete transit, make use of travel services such as a highway rest stop, or make necessary travel connections. So you can come through the state, you can stop, use the rest stop and all that. But damn it, if you're a minute over what time you're supposed to be. Yeah. And an individual is traveling to comply with a court order such as child custody or other exemptions issued by guidance.
Why should I not be surprised by this?
That's the exceptions. But then it says here, I'm looking at the actual document here, and in bold after these exceptions, the exceptions in this section do not apply to travelers who, within the previous 14 days, attended gatherings larger than those permitted by the Commonwealth.
Interesting.
So, how are you gonna enforce this, right? How I don't think it's mandated. Mandated?
Being a goddamn mind reader, or like tracking people like in freaking
I guess it's an order. It can't be a freaking recommendation, because it says any location outside blah 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 must produce evidence of negative COVID test. Who are you going to go to? Is there going to be just like cops, border agents here standing at the border of PA on major highways and be like,
something tells me probably
your COVID test. So if I go over to Ohio, stay over at somebody's house, and I come back, who's going to stop me if I come back over after 24 hours and come home or go to the store or what have you? Like, who's going to stop me? That's my grievance. Like, you put this in, and then the exceptions are like, well, pretty much everybody is exempt. But if you went to a large gathering, that who knows? Yep. The order is complete gaga. There's no how do you enforce it? It's like, don't do this, but you can do this if But you can do it if you do this. But if you did this, you can't be exempt to do this, so you have to do that.
Horseshit.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That is a grievance, a big grievance.
Yeah. Well, I can't top that, so I think we'll probably
I swear I had another one. I just can't think of it. When
probably think of it
emojis.
once we sign off here. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Damn it. Yeah.
Okay.
Crap. I can't think of anything.
But but yeah, guys, we'll probably end the podcast here. And we um and as always, we'd like to thank you to those of you who tuned into our professional wrestling podcast that happened on Christmas night. Um, again, talked about everything in the world of professional wrestling. We like recap TLC, went over like Raw, um,
Not
NXT,
really,
not really, but we'll just kind of go
because I didn't watch it.
yeah, neither did I, but
Because football.
yeah, but NXT Dynamite and obviously Friday Night SmackDown, which is a tape show because of the holiday
Christmas. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, follow us on Twitter at like MJ at MJ make a podcast, and we will see you next week. So take care.